Doesn't seem to be any cringe around here.
So,
you decided to post cringe.
Daddy?
We all know what's right. We all know what's wrong.
A lot of people talk about the comic book movie bubble bursting. It happened with cowboy movies in the 70s and horror movies in the 90s. So it seems kind of inevitable that it's going to hit superhero movies eventually. But if tomorrow came and the end of superhero movies came with it, I wouldn't really blame anyone in the industry at all. I would actually fault the fandoms that surround these movies, honestly. Now, not just your casual fans or not even some of your super fans. I'm talking about a very particular sub-niche of comic fans, particularly cosplaying TikTokers. I've found that a lot of the times in fandoms, the fandom can turn so unnecessarily weird that it starts to become off-putting to more casual fans. Fandoms have this thing where they take in-jokes and running gags from the content they're obsessed with, and then they run them into the ground until it turns the entire fan base against the content they were obsessed with in the first place. Undertale, Homestuck, MLP, and Superwholock are great examples of this. Even the Left 4 Dead and Team Fortress 2 source filmmaker communities kind of suffered from this.
Pew, 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 pews.
Let's go!
And in my opinion, it kind of led to all of those fandoms slowly but surely dying off. The point I'm trying to make here is that I don't want to see what happened to those fandoms happen to the comic book community as well. Because it's not like it's just one or two cosplayers that are making this kind of content. There's like a whole network of cosplayers that are all collaborating with each other and promoting each other and popularizing this content. So seeing how this trend keeps growing, I figured I'd share some of the worst content of what I found. So in honor of the future comic book movie bubble bursting, let's react to some cringy cosplay TikToks.
If me and my gang pull up, boy, you better get the running. We on your
The fucking Hulk got me. I wish all the comic book TikToks were like this, because that wasn't even cringy. That was actually kind of funny.
I'm in trouble, I'm an addict, I'm addicted to this boy. He's got my heart to the knot, and my stomach in a whirl. But even worse, I can't stop calling him. He's all I want and more. I mean, damn, what's not to adore?
Why is Spider-Man and Deadpool such a commonly reoccurring trope? There's a lot of pairings that kind of like, you know, it's cute, whatever, it makes for fun fan art. It just doesn't even make sense. Spider-Man fucking hates Deadpool.
That's the joke. You suck, McBain!
Okay, so this is bad enough just watching it, but then you read the caption, Lil Bro is going through changes. Not to mention that the chick here is an adult content creator. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And this other dude, from what I can tell, is probably a minor. At the very least, it's implied that he is in the narrative of the TikTok. I don't know, it just seems kind of sus to me is all.
You're probably thinking this was a superhero movie, but that guy in the suit just turned that other guy into a fucking kebab. Surprise, this is a different kind of superhero story.
God damn it, of course it's more fucking Deadpool and Spider-Man shit.
So keep your head up, princess, for your crown falls. Now these voices in your head will be your downfall. I know it gets so hard, but you don't got far to go. Keep your head up, princess, it's a long road, and the path leads right to where they won't go.
What the fuck is this even supposed to be? Like recording an inspirational video for his little sister figure during the middle of a fight. Like, I don't get these POV videos at all. Like, who is watching this and getting entertained by it? Does anyone understand the appeal of this at all? Is there something wrong with me for not getting this?
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
Tell me why can't we have a three-way? Tell me why, but what if it's my birthday? Tell me why.
Every single one of these is so over-sexualized. Jesus Christ. This is worse than being in an Abercrombie and Fitch. Remember when nerds were like the comic book guy and Kevin Smith and Star Wars kids? When the fuck did nerds get hot? Am I just making this video as a projection of my own insecurities? Is this another Deadpool tries to fuck Spider-Man one? I just want to point out that that looks like the same little brother from the first one we watched. Dear God, I feel like this video is about to go down a road I really don't want it to. And now we continue going down that road that I really did not want to go down. And let's just read the caption here. Spidey was looking for a snack and found one. And this is the same little bro from earlier, by the way.
Like a spider and he looks like a bug. We should all just give him one big hug. Look out!
See, this is what I mean. It's not just one TikToker. It's like 6 or 7 of them, and they all make videos together, and they all duet each other, and they all collab, and they all make this creepy-ass Spider-Man X Deadpool content.
Hold my hand. Now! Let's go. Look, everyone! We're holding hands!
So the main issue I have with this content is that it makes me think of Elsagate. When kids were watching borderline softcore because it was looped into the algorithm through them watching Spider-Man and Elsa content that was completely innocent. Elsagate was a period of time where YouTube started super blasting all of these bizarre videos of pregnant mermaid Spider-Mans and shitting Elsas, and they were all getting chased around by these shirtless jokers and getting shot up with syringes. It was the most bizarre, surreal shit you've ever seen.
Pregnant Spider-Man? I don't know when the fuck Spider-Man becomes pregnant. At this point, you've made me hate Spider-Man.
And it was all made just to chase algorithms and clickbait kids. It was a very strange time to be on YouTube. And like the content these TikTok creators are making, it was all hypersexualized content that put children's characters in curious situations in order to clickbait kids.
I don't know the significance of the syringes most of the time. The belly of a pregnant Spider-Man pointed at the belly of a pregnant Spider-Woman mermaid. Yeah, they have no respect for anything.
But now with TikTok, you don't even have to clickbait the kids. The app just forces the content on them. All you have to do as the content creator is keep them watching. Now obviously most of the stuff these TikTokers are doing isn't nearly as bad as some of the content that Elsagate enthusiasts were pushing, but the issue of trying to pander to children with over-sexualized content is an issue that's only going to get more persistent as time goes on.
The more YouTube replaces conventional television, the more likely, inevitable it becomes that some ambitious regulator is going to come along, see what you're doing, and crack down on everybody.
But Disney has an awful track record of taking people who make any kind of content with their IP and shutting it the fuck down. If you think Nintendo is bad, just look up some of the shit that Disney's done. They forbid a dude from putting Spider-Man on his kid's grave, then sued a family after they put Winnie the Pooh on their kid's grave, and they've done even worse. I'm sure I'll find some kind of awful article to screen cap by the time I'm done recording this. But on a different note, when you look at con culture and you see the issues that people have had with sexual harassment for years, enough to the point that they had to put up signs like these at all major cons, it makes me worry that this kind of content is going to set a bad precedent for future generations of cosplayers and con goers. Given that there's going to be about 2 or 3 years worth of kids that have never gone to a con before that'll be going to their first ones after COVID's over, and their only experience with this type of culture is through TikTok. You see the problem here? Look, all I'm saying is that if you're a cosplayer who wants to make content, you can do much better than all of this. This is bottom of the barrel shit. But once again, I just want to make the disclaimer, please don't harass any of the folks I featured in the video or talked about here. They have every right to make this awful content the same way that we have every right to cringe and find it disgusting. Alright, now that I'm done playing Nerd City, on to the next topic.
Doesn't that fresh outdoor air just perk you right up?
Take me back inside! It's so hot, I need air conditioning!
It is 70 degrees outside, you are fine.
Why is he petting his chest like that? I don't know why, but that makes me so uncomfortable.
I can feel my flesh melting off my bones! We've been outside for 2 minutes! Where's my Fortnite?
How long do you think that Spider-Man cosplayer was hanging upside down for?
About 4 months ago, my boyfriend set me the challenge of knitting a life-size Thanos who is 8'3". I've had help from my brother, from my parents, and of course my boyfriend's amazing acting skills. And piece by piece, it's gradually come together and it's finally finished. So to do the final reveal, I had to take him outside because there's no way he will stand up in my flat. And here's the final reveal, guys. I know it's not perfect, but I'm really happy with it, to be honest, considering this was just wool a few months ago. I do really want to make another life-size knit, so let me know what you think I should do, and thank you so much for your support.
That looks a little bit more like Homer Simpson than it does Thanos, but at the same time though, there's so much effort that was put into that, I can't even make fun of it. This is definitely one of those things where it's like awful taste, but great execution. That's a really great subreddit.
I've been doing this for 3 years and I still don't know how to properly transition a video.
So I felt like this dude deserved his own section. If any of you are familiar with Plain Potatoes, this is a dude who's doing pretty much the exact same thing with the exact same formula. Go out in public, cause chaos, play stupid, run the fuck away when shit gets heated. I'll show you.
Watch this, bro. Watch this. Bro, what happened, bro? Bro, what you doing, bro? What that? How bro do that?
So let's slow this down for a second. Notice how his friend just turns and starts walking away. He's not trying to catch the heat for this idiocy. And that poor cashier, she doesn't even bother saying shit to him.
Honestly, the poor lady's probably scared for her life because she's the only person working front counter in the middle of the night, and now there's a guy dressed up as Spider-Man running at her. For all she knows, she's about to get robbed or killed. She's thinking her life is in danger while he's thinking about the clout he's gonna pull from this. Even worse, she's gonna have to be the one to clean all this up when it's over. There is no cleanup on aisle 6. The cleanup is aisle 6.
Spider-Man is supposed to help people, not cause chaos. It goes against everything every version of the character stands for. And what I think might be the funniest thing about Jamani's page is that he does all this to promote his dog shit SoundCloud rap. And when I say dog shit, it doesn't do the music justice. Just listen to it.
I had no father, so I grew up lonely. He had my number, but he never called me. I had 3 brothers and he never told me. I'm just feeling like he really owed me all the love that he never showed me. I lost my cousin, you don't know my pain. Since he been gone, shit ain't been the same. You don't know my struggle. You don't know my struggle.
Okay, so maybe I don't know or can't relate to Jamani's struggle personally, but I can relate to the struggle of the cashier, because I've had to work plenty of minimum wage jobs. Jobs that didn't pay you shit for the number of obnoxious, inconsiderate pricks you had to deal with. And what do I mean by obnoxious, inconsiderate pricks? Well, you know, the customer.
This job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking customer.
And this dude didn't even buy anything, so he's not even a customer, which honestly makes it that much worse. Dealing with idiots like this is the worst part of any fucking job. But you know what? We've spent too much time on this fucking idiot, so let's move on to the next topic. Unfortunately, it gets much worse from here on out. Just trust me. So here's the thing. I've been working on this video off and on since September 2020, and honestly, I haven't checked in on most of the people that I made the video about since December. So seeing his videos made by UC Nick made up about half the content of the video, I felt obliged to at least check up on him and see what he's been up to lately. And his account was gone. And in its place were these.
Okay, let's talk briefly about UC Nick.
You may have heard about the accusations and sexual harassment against me, and I am addressing this now. All of this is true.
As of a couple days ago, Nick deleted all of his social media accounts, but to those of you who don't know what's going on, let me fill you in, because you're probably going to be hearing a lot of women come forward telling their experiences with him.
Instead of retelling the story in my own words, I've made a compilation of the information that I found. Viewer discretion is advised. Consider this an SA trigger warning.
It started literally day one. He was very, very nice to me, very, very touchy, things like that. Just not sexually touching, but things like that.
He was manipulative, abusive, asking me for pictures of myself, sending me pictures of himself without my consent.
So we Ben knew that Nick doesn't care about other people. But recently, evidence has come out that Nick has sexually harassed at least 6 women. He actually admitted to it and then tried to pretend like he didn't and it was consensual.
Brandy told us the amount of women that started coming forward with stories about Nick in my other group chats was alarming.
I've been trying to tell y'all. I went to high school with this motherfucker.
In short, Nick was sexually harassing many other female users, the same as Brandy, trying to coerce them into sexual acts by holding his internet clout over their head.
He included me in a lot of the videos, which was very nice, and we created like a friendship because I thought he was just a good person that wanted me in the group. But then the day I left the group is whenever he started asking for sexual pictures, nudes, videos. He would send me videos and things like that.
First of these events were brought to light by one of the members of the cosplay groups that I'm in. Her name is Brandy Renee 19. Turns out Nick had been sexually harassing Brandy for months, sending unwarranted dick pics, asking for nudes, and asking to participate in OnlyFans content with her. Brandy will be making a video telling her story when she's comfortable enough to talk.
Fuck that guy?
To find out that I never really knew him at all is devastating, but what's more devastating is to what he did to these girls.
I was 17 at the time and freshly graduated from high school. I was a kid. And he was over the age of 18. He was, I believe, 20 at the time.
I was small fish, you know, I was this very small fish, and it was kind of clear that like, hey, I'll help you and send you videos and duet your videos, but I need videos back. And it was not something I felt very comfortable with. So slowly I started to be able to put my foot down and say no.
And these harassment allegations aren't even allegations. They're true.
Since November, there have been issues with sexual harassment that I have done towards my now ex-best friends.
Wanted to have sex with me, provided alcohol to me when I was a minor. I met him when I was a minor. A lot of uncomfy things.
As far as my TikTok account, I don't deserve any of you. I don't deserve any of this clout. And I know I'm not trying to throw a pity party here. I swear I am going to go get help. And I have been consulting with my mother and everything. And I know that's kind of...
Do you think that you are toxic?
No.
Why not?
I potentially could be, yeah. Yeah.
Whether you're sexual assault victim or harassed, I never assaulted. I don't know what the difference, but I'm sorry.
I just found out about the UC Nick guy. Never followed him, don't know who he is. Just found out that there are several victims that are coming out against him. And I'm starting to see a pattern within the cosplay community because this has happened before.
He said he asked his mom for support. He's sorry if that makes him seem like a little boy. He's gonna go to therapy and he can't wait to come back and start creating again. No. Like, just don't come back.
This is your reminder that when someone is exposed for sexually assaulting someone, them going offline and getting help is not good enough.
And I'm going to make sure that this never happens again. I'm going to take a break for as long as I need to. But when I come back, I promise you that my content will be better and set a better example.
Back in, I want to say June of last year, he and like 10 other creators from the Spidey fan cosplay group or whatever, they all went to Florida. And if you remember, in June of last year, Florida was like the epicenter for the pandemic and the vaccine didn't really exist. So they were just being selfish assholes looking for clout. And they all pretty much admitted to that in their apologies. Their apologies to me sounded more like, well, we have millions of followers, so who cares?
Creators think their videos are so important and like, yeah, they brighten people's day. But I just saw a video of a cat knocking a lamp over and that brightened my day. And I don't think that cat or that lamp is gonna sexually harass their fans. So maybe just don't come back. Like, you can live your life without a huge platform because you've abused your platform. And that's all I'm gonna say.
All I'm saying is just be careful, because if you think you know these cosplayers, at least one of them out of 10 is doing some shady shit that you would have no idea is doing.
Because they will do it again. People in the cosplay community are gonna keep doing this. This community is supposed to be a safe place, but it isn't when people like this are still here.
So you see, Nick, and most of the people in that cosplay group are shitty fucking people.
First of all, guys, I just want to say sorry for in any way letting a person who is capable of these things be part of this community or be exposed to you.
I'm fucking disgusted that I was ever associated with him. I am heartbroken that I truly didn't know my friend, and especially with him knowing my story, and he did the exact same thing to other women.
So anybody in the cosplay community, hear me? Be careful who you let in your circle or who you look up to. Cosplay is a great opportunity for predators to come on the app, act all loving and nice, and then turn around and do something like this that is so
After the January meetup, things started to get a little bit better for me and him because he got a girlfriend. So then he finally relaxed, and then out of nowhere, it just started back. It started back, and I was just so beyond exhausted with this because I finally felt with my account growing that I was able to put my foot down and say no, because the entire time I had been terrified that he would send his following after me because he was mad at me. And, you know, going up against somebody with 3 million followers, that's very, very scary because they could really ruin my TikTok career.
It is not okay, because I've also noticed that people use their power in numbers. I will never fucking understand. I have over 860,000 on my first account. You're not gonna see me ever do that.
Nobody is too big of an account, too big of a person to not face consequences.
And if you try to defend this person or continue to support them, unfollow me. You're part of the problem.
I'm just sitting here scrolling through TikTok watching the downfall of UC Nick.
So this is kind of off topic, but you know, one of the things that pisses me off more than anything is that Nick is apparently going to therapy. And you can tell from his expensive cosplays and his family's TikToks that they live a rich-ass lifestyle. Now let's look at some of his victims. A lot of them aren't as well off as Nick. A lot of them won't be able to afford therapy like his rich-ass parents can for their degenerate piece of shit son.
And I won't be mentioning names or locations because I don't want to get doxxed. I'm poor.
Unlike Nick, their mommies and daddies can't afford it. But you know, at least now they're paying for something for Nick. They obviously didn't pay enough attention to him as a child, and now as a result, he's become everyone else's problem. I said I would let you reach your own conclusions, but when I see privileged rich kids do privileged rich kid shit, and they think they can get away with it, fuck that. What an awful, despicable, disgusting human being. None of his victims will be able to get the same kind of help that Nick's parents can afford him. And it's only because of his parents' money in the first place that he can go to a nice college, or afford the cosplays that got him this attention in the first place. The dude is the epitome of privilege. People like this don't deserve your attention. Sorry for the swim rant, This is going to be an awkward transition because I recorded the outro a few months ago. Look into the UC Nick situation for yourself if you want. There's a pretty comprehensive video called The Drama of UC Nick by Architect. Maybe go check that out. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. Alright, awkward transition time travel to something that I wrote 3 months ago before I knew about any of this. Wait, that was the last section before the outro? Okay, well then fuck it, cue outro. So here's what I learned making this video. I came into the project with a lot of prejudices towards TikTok as a platform, but after using it for a while, I kind of came to love some of the content on the app, and from my understanding, that's not uncommon, and it's what a lot of people call the TikTok effect. Now don't get me wrong, there's definitely still some cringy stuff that ends up on your For You page, but there's still a lot of quality content on here too. Stuff like this one guy who talks about old Hollywood history, or Weird Wide Web, who covers a lot of old school internet history in a format that's similar to a lot of popular YouTubers.
Claimed you could manipulate the shape of a cat similar to a growing bonsai tree. If you trap them in a small jar or vase, I would never put you in a small container. Get in, get in.
Or Marianne Ellis, who makes some great TikToks about one of my favorite shows, King of the Hill.
Did Dale know the truth about Joseph? This theory brought to you by 4chan. But every day since he was born, I've been taking my revenge. That boy, he loves me, Hank. John Redcorn will never get.
Animators like Nam Mac, who make these trippy skateboarding vids, or even old school YouTubers like Hank Green.
Records are very weird. It's a groove, cut in a piece of vinyl, and you run a needle across it, and fucking Taylor Swift is in the room.
Who's made a pretty strong resurgence on the app. And honestly, I've gotten pretty into true crime because of creators like True Crime Cam.
They would then bring over a thirsty goat to lick the feet of the victim. This would tickle the victim, but eventually the goat's rough tongue would lick their skin completely off. This is also around the same time that the goat became popular representation of the devil.
Or Zamzier, who makes these bizarre, trippy animations. But with all that being said, I have noticed that there's a severe lack of quality comic book content on TikTok. So I decided to make my own. You can follow me at SwimTeamCaptain7 on TikTok. Whereas it usually takes me a month or more to script and edit a video, I can pump out content on TikTok a lot faster. And being able to make those videos faster is a huge advantage to the platform. And another advantage is how much easier it is to grow an audience on TikTok comparatively to any other platform. With just one shitpost, I garnered 216,000 views, 9,101 likes, and I got 678 followers with just one successful shitpost, without even having to push it or promote it anywhere. I've been on Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter for years, and I've never seen any of my content even come close to those numbers. But with TikTok, it seems like every post has the potential to go viral. So with that in mind, I don't see why you wouldn't try and make moves there. As a content creator, it seems like there's a lot more opportunity there than there is anywhere else right now. And remember, if these guys can get millions of followers by looking hot and pretending to bang each other, then I'm sure that you can do even better by making some well thought out content with some actual heart and substance put into it. You might have seen WandaVision, which is at least partially inspired by Tom King's Vision, and I've wanted to talk about this comic for a long time. So the premise is that Vision becomes disillusioned and traumatized by the world of superheroes, then wipes his memory so he can start over fresh. And in doing so, he tries to ground himself in normality by creating his own robot Franken family. The members of his family know they aren't normal, but they also have this dark suspicion that there's something more to their mortality than the Vision is letting on. The book deals with subjects like race, privilege, heartbreak, living in a loveless marriage, and even some darker topics like the consequences of resurrection. And then there's this one page that's always stuck with me. When not with family, she spent most days sitting on the living room couch exploring the corners of her preloaded memory. She was fascinated by how often she found something that made her cry. I don't know why, but that page has always hit me like a load of bricks. Check out Tom King's Vision, everybody. Follow for more comic theories, and maybe check out my YouTube channel. Now, with all that being said, follow at SwimTeamCaptain7 on TikTok, check out Super Swim Team 7 stickers at superswimteam7.com, and as always, a huge thank you to my lovely supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join these folks up on the screen, you can visit patreon.com/SuperSwimTeam7. Now I've been Swim Team Prime from Super Swim Team 7, signing off.